The following video is a re-upload from when I had around 500 YouTube subscribers, and we have since 12x that and greater, and I'd like to thank you for that. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you're new, welcome. Now, you may not know, but when I started my YouTube channel in about the span of 15 months, I uploaded over 150 videos. I have since deleted 140 of those videos, and then my channel started to get traction. Now, this video that you're about to see is one of those videos that I deleted, but I was going through my archive the other day, and I thought to myself, I think this would be very important for you to watch. So in this video, there are 11 practical steps that you can actually do to fix your reality, to fix your life, to change your life, to rig reality in your favor. There's going to be some esoteric concepts in there. There's going to be some spiritual concepts in there, but these are very practical steps that you can do, actions that you can take. There's 11 of them. So that being said, I don't know if I'm going to delete this again. Maybe, maybe not. So I don't know if it'll be here next time you check this channel. But with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so this is a full guide to fixing your life. Why am I able to tell you about this? Because I fixed my life. I got fit. I'm in a great relationship. I have money. I can travel anywhere in the world, work anywhere in the world, do what I want with my life to a certain extent. So I'm just going to go through the things I've done for myself and have assisted other people in doing to fix their life and transform their lives and allow them to live the life that they want to live. This is probably going to be a longish video. Some of the things in this video are easy to do. Some of them are hard to do. A lot of them are hard to do, actually. But it's up to you if you want to fix your life or transform your life or live the life that you actually want to live. It's not going to be simple, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to think about it and it's going to happen. Doesn't work like that. So I got my phone because I took some notes, some bullet points, right? So let's just get into it. First thing, exercise. I know everybody talks about this, and I know that you know already to do this. You already know you're supposed to be exercising. And I guarantee you, like 50% of your problems will be solved through just going to the gym, through just exercising. The way you think, the way you look at yourself and feel, your problems are going to get fixed if you start physically transforming through the hard work of exercise. Okay? Because there's a difference between just like telling yourself nice things and telling yourself that you're great or telling yourself that you're cool or you're going to be a great individual or whatever. And there's a difference that you can see when you look in the mirror and see a different person, a more powerful person, right? You don't know the effect it has on your mind when you go from super skinny to buff or go from super overweight to fit. You don't know the effect that has on your mind and everything else around you. People will treat you differently. You understand? You will get more opportunities if you are better looking, which means go to the gym and take care of the way you look. Because here's the thing about the physical realm. The physical realm is something that is easy to pull evidence from, right? If I slap you in the face, you know you got slapped in the face. You don't have to be like, oh, did that really happen? Am I gaslighting myself about getting slapped in the face? No, you know it happened. So when you can physically see a transformation, you know it happened. And it's evidence to yourself that you can actually transform other aspects of your life. Now, outside of all the mental benefits exercise has, right, and the physical benefits, it's going to open opportunities for you. It's that simple. It's really going to open opportunities for you. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people, they're like, oh, I don't have time to work out. Yes, you do. You have time to work out because you're spending your time doing other nonsense. Okay? All it takes is 20 minutes a day, maybe not even every day, maybe 20 minutes 4 times a week or 5 times a week to actually start changing your physique and getting more fit. 20 minutes a day is not going to eat through the time in your day, and it's not going to cost you anything. One of my good friends told me that because me personally, I hate working out. All right. And I'm quite aware of it, but I do it because I know I have to. So rather I get to work out. So he told me, yo, Seth, 20 minutes a day is not going to make you go broke. You're not going to lose any money. I'm like, You do have a point. So, the first thing that you can start doing is exercising. Is literally, you could, and the thing is, you don't need any extra things to do that. You could start doing some push-ups today. You could start doing some squats today. You could run today. That's the great thing. God gave you all the tools you need within your body to get fit. Isn't that crazy? You could do pull-ups at the park. You could hang off a tree branch. You know what I mean? You have all the tools around you to get fit, literally, but you don't do it. And here's the thing. One of the major things that's holding you back is laziness. All right. So you're going to have to toughen up. You're going to have to build some mental strength and start exercising, because that changes the game. It really does change the game. And another thing exercise does is it keeps you accountable, because if you're not working out, you're not making progress, right? Physically. So accountability is the second thing. And let me tell you this. Accountability is the secret superpower that everyone has. Not so secret, to be honest. But if you are accountable, you will take control of your life. I need you to understand this. All right. You got to understand this. Everything is your fault. You are where you are in life because of you. All right. Because of your choices. Now, don't be an idiot about this. All right. There are obviously some things in your life that you didn't have a choice in, that you had no control over. Okay. You didn't choose when you were born. You didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose the things that they brought you through. Okay. Unless you want to get into some metaphysical, spiritual stuff, maybe you did, but that's not what this is about. Okay. You didn't choose those things. So don't be stupid about it. And here's the thing. If you can't understand abstract concepts, you're going to have a hard time. And here's what I mean by this. If I ask you, if you didn't sleep last night, what kind of day do you think you would have? Most people are going to say, oh, I'd be grumpy. I'd be tired. I wouldn't function as well as I could. It'd be difficult. Correct. Somebody who can't understand abstract concepts would say, but I did sleep last night. You cannot deal with those people. And if you are one of those people, sorry, I can't help you. All right. You need to be able to understand abstract concepts if you want to be able to transform anything in your life. Okay. Because you need to be able to look into the future. And if you can't look into the future, which is an abstraction, then you're not going to be able to move there. And if you can't look into the past, which is also an abstraction, then you're not going to be able to draw fuel from the past to get to where you need to go. So back to accountability. This is the secret superpower that every person has within them. And you see, if you are not accountable, you won't win. All right. You need to be responsible for your life. It doesn't matter what is in the way. Oh, but Seth, I'm poor. Your fault. Oh, Seth, people are racist and block me from getting opportunities. Your fault. Oh, Seth, I was born in this particular neighborhood and, it influenced my life. Your fault. Okay? It's all your fault. It's all your doing. And you need to understand this. Because when you understand this, you will see the part that you play in your life to get you to where you are. Let's say you went through a breakup, right? And some people, they go through a breakup and they're like, yo, screw that person, screw that girl. She did this and that and that and this. And they never get over it. They can never see their part in what happened. They can never see it. They're somehow magically innocent and don't do any bad things ever. Let me tell you something. She left you because of you. All right. And she could have been a toxic individual. And it was your fault for not noticing. And it was your fault for actually noticing and staying. Your fault. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You need to develop this level of accountability, because if you don't, life is going to toss you around. Things are going to happen to you instead of you happening to things. All right? Life is just going to happen and knock you around. Sorry, when I walk in the building, I happen to life. And that is what you need to do with your life. You need to be accountable. You understand? That's what changes the game. Once I became hyper accountable, I just started winning. Oh, there's only $500 in my bank account because I didn't do this, this, and this. So let me try and do these things so I can get some more money. Oh, I got in an argument with somebody. What part did I have to play in that? Maybe I didn't have to say that. Maybe I did have to say that and the argument needed to happen. Maybe I did need to say it. Either way, it's my fault. All right? You need to start taking control of your life, and accountability is how you do it. I could harp on this for a whole hour if I needed to, but we're not doing that. Be accountable. Starting today. All right? Now, next. Actually, one more thing in terms of accountability. When you're accountable, you start asking yourself different questions to progress your life. So let's say you're overweight and you're accountable. You start asking yourself, how do I lose weight? What can I do to be more fit? What do I need to eat? Who do I need to talk to? You start asking yourself questions instead of saying genetics. Foolishness, right? So when you're accountable, it changes the way your mind operates, and you will start to get the things you want because they are actually in your control. All right? Cool. All right, next thing you want to do. Read books. I don't know if you can see down here. There's books here. If you see my other videos, I have a bookshelf there. Books. I listen to ebooks all the time, right? Audiobooks, sorry, all the time. You need to read, all right? So I got some of my top choices for you to read. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. That's a book about overcoming fear. And so much of why you aren't where you want to be is because of fear and anxiety. All right. That book is really about conquering fear and not getting distracted with nonsense. So Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Everyone needs to read that. Super popular book. Anything by Robert Greene is good. I'm a Robert Greene fan. 50th Law, which is 50 Cent and Robert Greene. Another book about fear, but from a different perspective, based on somebody who's actually still living and was able to tell his story and allow us to extract lessons from it. So 50th Law was a really good book. That's Robert Greene and 50 Cent. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. All right. Money and wealth, business success begins with who you are. All right. And who you are is built up of many things, but a major thing that builds who you are is the way you think. So Think and Grow Rich. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John C. Maxwell. Okay, John C. Maxwell is somebody who talks a lot about leadership. And if you are to be successful in business, if you're to build an audience for anything, if anyone's to like you, you're going to have some aspects of leadership. All right, so start developing them. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. The Kabbalion. All right, so some people don't like to talk about things they consider woo-woo. But let me tell you something. We live in a spiritual, mental, and physical world, and they all influence one another. The Kabbalion is a great read in terms of allowing you to understand universal law. Let me give you an example of universal law. I'll give you one example of how the universe operates. And when you understand this, then you really start to win because it's based in the laws of the universe. All right. So for instance, there is no such thing that is all good or no such thing that is all bad. There is nothing that is all upside and no downside, and nothing that is all downside and no upside. All right. Basically, there's no such thing as a free lunch in the universe. Once again, let me give you the same example of a couple who breaks up. All right. Someone can look at that and say, yo, this is all downside. I lost somebody I love. She cheated and she did this, and it's all downside. Down, 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 down. Right. But they don't see any of the upside of that relationship. Like, you had a good time and you had sex, or now that you're not with her, you can focus on other things. Now that you're not with her, you met somebody better. You understand? Upside. Bad side, upside to everything. Even getting rich. People are like, yo, if I just get rich, all my problems will be solved. No, they won't. You'll just have other problems. There's no all upside to being rich. Okay, you want to know something? You start getting money, people start treating you differently. They start asking you for things, right? They start telling you switched up because you have to change your character in order to get money, right? If you're at one level of money, let's say you make, I don't know, like me, I was mad broke. I made under $20,000 a year sometimes, right? I make under $20,000 a year. You think I'm the same person then as I am now, who's a top 1% earner? Absolutely not. Right? You have to actually change your character. So when you change your character, the people who knew you for being that broke individual or that person who was always drinking or not being fit or whatever the hell else it is, right? They're going to have a problem with that. And you're going to lose people. You're going to lose some friends. So yeah, sure, you got money, but you lost some people that you cared about, quite possibly, right? It's riskier. You have more money. You're up to more risk. What if a whole bunch of people know you have money and they want to do bad things to you? There is no upside without some downside and no downside without some upside. That's universal law. The Kabbalion will guide you through the principles of the universe. And when you know them, you get to win because you have a cheat code. This is a very important thing to transform your life, to understand the spiritual, mental, and physical planes. Anyways, Kabbalion, super important book. Couple business books I'll mention. $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. Great book. Once you read that book, you see the framework of it all over the internet. People are making offers and stuff. If you read $100 Million Offers, you're like, oh yeah, that's Hormozi right there. And I think he got those concepts from another book. I'm not sure what it is. It might be Russell Brunson or even someone before Russell Brunson. So still, great book. Another Hormozi book, $100 Million Leads. This is a very important book in today's age, okay? Because we're living in a digital age where you need attention, you need to advertise, right? And that doesn't mean just buying ads. You need to advertise. You need to be out there. I make social media content. I need to be out there, right? Your product or whatever it is you're selling needs eyeballs on it. So $100 Million Leads, great book. Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. This is one of the best business books ever. And it's short. Oversubscribe. I'm not even going to get into it. Just read Oversubscribe. Read Oversubscribe. The first chapter will literally just change everything you know about business. And finally, Steal Like an Artist. There is nothing new under the sun. Everyone is just borrowing and changing things or adapting things, right? Even the way I speak, I borrow things from speakers I like and borrow inflections from things I like. I come from the music industry. So the music industry, every artist emulates their inspirations before they find something that works for them. And most of the time, most artists are a combination of inspirations, myself included. So Steal Like an Artist, very important book. All right. Why do you need to read? Because you need to put knowledge in your head instead of nonsense in your head. All right. Knowledge over nonsense. All right. So many people spend their time doing things that will not assist their life, especially if you're at the bottom. If you are like very broke, not healthy, don't have good friends, just a whole bunch of bad stuff, your life really needs to get fixed. You don't have time to waste time. You don't have time to wonder if LeBron James is going to win the championship. LeBron winning the championship is not going to put any money into your pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Like, people just spend time doing nonsense. And I know this because I was guilty of it. And when I stopped, I changed my life in 2 years. You understand? So don't be spending your time doing foolishness. Read. If you have spare time, read a book. You don't have money to buy books? There's a whole bunch of these. You see a bunch of these books I mentioned? There's free audiobook versions of them on YouTube. And you don't want to do that? Go to the library. You don't have a library card? Go to the library. Okay, they're still around. Go to the library. You need to read. All right. The most successful people, they all read. I have a mentor. He told me, Every rich man's house has a library. And that was enough for me to know to read. Put knowledge into your mind and not nonsense, bro. Next, learn to say no. Listen, when you're transforming your life, people are going to want to knock you off of the path. They're going to want to have you do the things that you did with them. Go out and party with them like you used to. Go out and waste your time with them like you used to. Just do foolishness. And you need to learn to say no. That's not only to your friends and the people that you spend time with having fun. That might be your parents. That might be people you love dearly. That might be your spouse. You need to learn to tell people no. Say no. Because you need to focus. Let me tell you something. 2 years of dedicated focus will change your life. I have never seen anyone dedicate 2 years and really lock in and not come out like a different person, like Goku out of the hyperbolic time chamber. I have never seen it happen. But people say yes too much. And they think that people aren't going to like them anymore if they say no. Well, let me tell you something. If you say no and they don't like you anymore and they don't want to be friends with you, they weren't supposed to be your friend. They are your friend in the old version of you who doesn't have the life that you desire. That version of you chills with these people. The more evolved, more successful version of you chills with other people. Because there is a level of osmosis that occurs when you're around people. And I think one of the major things that changed my life was changing my circle. Changing the people I hung out with. And it's not like the people I hung out with before were bad people or problematic or whatever. It's just a different caliber of people I was hanging out with. Once I started changing my life, it's a different caliber of people. I was hanging out with people where, like, I would overhear them talking about like a $2 million oil and gas deal. Nonchalant. Yeah, we got a $2 million deal happening over here. Yeah, we have a 50K deal happening over here. Yeah, we lost 200 grand on this particular thing, but we actually made 5.1 mil in this other business. And oh yeah, we just sold a company that was doing 1.9 mil. They bought it for 5.9 mil. I got 10% of the deal. Like, I'm like, what's going on here? This is crazy. What these type of numbers. And at the time, I just wanted to make like $2 grand a month or something. You know what I mean? So that changed everything. But I had to say no to the old version of me. You need to say no to the old version of you. So the version of you who wants to eat the chips and eat the ice cream and the pizza when you're supposed to eat healthy and go to the gym, you need to say no to that guy. You need to say no to him because he wants to hold you back. There is a version of you who is literally trying to drag you down. And there's a version of you who tries to pull you up. So which one are you going to listen to? All right. I keep squinting because I'm trying to see if the record button is on the camera, because this camera only records for half an hour and I can't see how long it's been because I don't have my glasses on. They're across on the desk and I already hit record, so I can't be bothered. Anyways, I kind of went over this already, but change your environment. Change your environment. Jordan Peterson talks about clean your room. All right. Cleaning your room is not going to make you rich. Okay. But cleaning your room, the concept behind it is to start getting your life in order. All right. And on top of that, if your environment is more orderly, you will bring more order into your life. Your internal reflects your external. If you are a chaotic person, your environment is going to be chaotic. And let me tell you something, once again, universal law. The universe, the earth, is trying to regularly descend things into chaos. Okay? It's a concept called entropy. It means things falling apart. And it is very easy for entropy to occur. Let me give you an example. If you decide every day you're just going to lay in bed and call for food because you, I don't know, are a trust fund kid and can magically have money every single day, even though you don't work, to just have food magically called to your bed. Cool. Food is magically called to your bed and you just watch movies and television all day and just lay in your bed. Super easy, mega easy lifestyle. But what's going to happen to you? You're going to get unhealthy and die. Do you understand? Because it's entropy and it's easy to do. You need to practice negentropy, which means putting things into order. And when you put your life in order is when things start clicking and you start winning. Even business, for instance, right? The most successful businesses, they are orderly systems. When you learn about business, you start to learn that business is just all systems. And the better ordered the system is, the better the business is. Business evaluations depend on the orderliness of the business. All right. Depend on how automated it is. Dependent on how well your systems function. If you're trying to sell a business and your systems are bad, it's going to decrease the evaluation of the business because it's all about orderliness, and money loves order. So get your external environment in check. That's the first thing. Then you need to get the people around you in check. So that means you need to hang out with different people. Like I said before, you need to say no to the people who want you to do things that are helpful and say yes to new people. Okay, who actually have their life in order. For instance, if you start going to the gym, you might make friends with people who go to the gym, and that's going to inspire you to go to the gym. All my friends work out. So what am I supposed to do? Sit there and be like, oh, no, I'm not going to work out. They're going to look at me like, dude, what's wrong with you? You can't hang with us. But not only do they work out, they get money. They're in good relationships. They're good people. They keep their word. So I want to be around that because you win by osmosis. Okay? You win by osmosis. Environment dictates the outcome. If you're in an environment where it's completely fine and cool to rob people, then you're going to rob people. If you're in an environment where it is cool and expected for you to run an upright, great business, that's what you're going to do. There's positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. All right. And they only talk about negative peer pressure when you're in school. You go to high school and you hear, oh, don't give in to peer pressure. They're going to make you do bad things. Yeah, because you're hanging out with idiots. Versus the peer pressure that pulls you up instead of pulling you down. So get some better peers. Change your environment. Right? And this is great for your mindset too. Speaking about mindset, how much time I got on this? Had to stop the camera. We were at 27 minutes. Anyways, speaking about mindset, you need to keep promises to yourself. This is super important. Okay? Your speech is the first tool that you have in the universe to start influencing your life. I have another video about this. All right. It's called how to act, like something along the lines of how to actually change your vibration. Your speech is super important. If you read the Bible, it says, in the beginning, there was the Word. God spoke the universe into existence. You can speak things into existence. Now, that's not all of it. That's not just how it works, but that's how it starts. Okay? Your speech needs to be impeccable. You need to speak incredibly well of yourself. I don't care what you think of yourself currently. bad things about you had better not come out of your mouth. All right. Let's say you're broke currently. You can say, I'm broke now, but I will be rich. You understand? Or I'm just low in funds right now, but I will be incredibly high in funds soon. You need to be very particular with the way you speak. And when you realize this, you start to police your language. I don't mean in a way of saying things you don't mean. I mean not saying things that are going to mess up your life. Speech is very important. And I know this on a deep level because almost everything I said in my music, which was, when I really started releasing music seriously, would have been 2015, maybe 2014, possibly something like that. So 10 years. All right. Things I said 10 years ago are happening now. They're happening now. You have no idea how far reaching your speech is. Now, that's another video. Go check that video. It's incredibly good and will teach you how to actually transform your life even more. So you need to keep your promises to yourself. If you go to bed and say tomorrow I'm going to work out in the morning, you had better do it. You better do it because you need to reinforce in your mind that you tell yourself the truth. If you don't, you're going to reinforce that you tell yourself lies. And the mind is quite malleable and recognizes patterns. So if you keep lying to yourself, your brain is going to say, oh yeah, it's fine to lie to myself. That's fine. We'll just lie to ourselves. We'll say we're going to do something and not do it. And then check this. We're going to expect our life to change. Oh, wow. It's not going to work. All right. And keeping your word to yourself creates evidence for you that you can make things happen. It creates belief, and belief is really what dictates what your actions are going to be, and your actions are going to dictate your habits, and your habits will dictate your entire life. All right. When I was broke and underweight and sick, I had bad habits. Now that my life has changed, I have different habits, and the habits I currently have are keeping me at the level I am at. So my habits must change in order for me to reach another level. But that all starts with the words you tell yourself. And this is a magical power because you start to know that the things that you say come true because you have kept your word so much that it just influences things in the world to move in your favor. Okay. When I took on my boxing fight, I had very little boxing experience. I had no idea who my opponent was going to be. I had no idea how much training he had. I had no clue. But I did know I was going to win because I said it. And I have said so much things and made them happen so much times that if I say it, consider it done. Anyone who does business with me, if I say it, consider it done. I don't care if I have to. If you want to go to the moon and I said I will bring you to the moon, I will find a way to call Elon and sell him on a pitch to get you to the moon. Now, I'm probably not going to say yes to that. Probably not going to do it. But you get what I'm saying. All right. When you reinforce truth to yourself, it must show up in your life. Your speech must dictate your life. So keep your promises to yourself. Super important. After keeping promises to yourself, it's going to propel you towards action. Nothing happens in this world without you taking action. It's that simple. Nothing happens. So you have The Secret by Rhonda Burns or Rhonda Brines. I can't remember her name. She passed away, I believe. But The Secret is a phenomena, best-selling book, right? And it's all about thinking your way into the things that you want. It's all about manifestation just through your mind. That's only half the game, okay? You need to speak it, you think it, and then you take action, all right? It's really you speak it, you think it, you believe it, and you take action, all right? If you don't take any action, nothing's going to change. It's like, I'm just going to think my way into a Herculean body. I'm just going to think my way into money. And I know I told you guys to read Think and Grow Rich, but that's only part of the equation. Not one book is going to give you everything you need for life. That's why you need to read multiple things, ingest the knowledge, and take action on what you learned. But anyways, nothing happens without action. All right? Perfectionism is an excuse to not take action. Procrastination is simply not taking action, period. Okay? If you don't do something, nothing's going to happen. The universe moves off of doing things, off of movement, off of action. It's around you all the time. I have moved my hand like this. Air particles and whatever else in the air has moved out of the way, or I pushed it in order to move my hand. Okay? That is action occurring. And when you take action, you are putting a dent in the universe. A dent. And eventually you dent enough, you hit gold or diamonds or whatever else it is. Okay? If you don't take action towards things, your life's not going to change. I could tell you all these things. Read all these books. Do all this mindset stuff. Talk to these people. Change your environment. If you aren't taking action, it's not going to happen. People buy online courses, for instance, right? They spend $4,000 on the online course and the community. Yeah, it's going to change your life. You're going to make money. And then they watch 2 of the videos, or they watch all the videos, and then they don't do anything. They don't take their learning and take action. And then they wonder why they can't make any money. Oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's a scam because, I came in and I learned some stuff and I didn't make any money. Yeah, because you're an idiot who doesn't take action. Bro, half of these people online talking about a lot of these courses and stuff are scams. Some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. And it's just people disgruntled at the fact that they don't take action and they don't work hard enough to make things happen. They're just upset at themselves, which is what I told you about accountability. They're not accountable. Do you understand? They're not accountable for their actions. And so they'll never succeed. They'll just be on YouTube complaining about scams. Whatever. Shout out CoffeeZilla though, because he exposes the real scammers. But anyways, take action. Speaking of taking action, you need to fail forward fast. I have failed countless times. Countless times. I still fail regularly now. Okay, I don't even know how much views this YouTube video is going to have. And I've spent probably, close to an hour recording already. Right. And then I'm going to put it out. I don't know what it's going to do. It could get 10 views. That's a failure. But like I said, there's no downside without some upside. So the upside is that I'm practicing on YouTube more. I'm speaking to the camera more. I'm getting better. I'm getting more skilled. I'm testing new formats. Right. So there's good, but there could be bad. No one could see it. Right? But you need to fail forward faster because success is paved through failures. Okay? For instance, I used to do a lot of relationship coaching. I kind of do it less now. I'm less interested in it. But talking to women, for instance, I failed a lot. I got blown out of the water a lot of times. You know what I mean? But then you get good because you failed enough to know, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, do this. Bang. Just like the breakup situation. Oh, don't do that and don't do that. Do this. Okay? So you need to fail forward faster. And a big part of what holds people back is that they are afraid of failure. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid that their parents are going to say, hey, we were right, you shouldn't have done that. Or their friends laugh at them and say, hey, yeah, I knew you shouldn't have done that. Let me tell you something. The people who deter you from going after your goals, they're just afraid in themselves because they never went after theirs. They never went after theirs. So don't listen to them. Do what you want to do. Pursue what you want to pursue. As long as it makes sense. Some things don't make sense, right? Like I said, there's nuance to everything. Most of life is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area in life. So it's nuanced. But you need to go after what you want. And fear is part of the process. I've faced fear so much times that like stuff just doesn't bother me. I remember when I was in university. And people were panicking about tests. Oh my God, if I fail this, I'm not going to be able to get this job. And it's exam time and I'm stressed. And me, I was chill, always. I didn't business because I wasn't afraid. I knew life could be worse. All right, you're not going to die. What, you have to take a test again? Okay, right? Plus, it's on you to pass anyway. So freaking study or do what you need to do. It's on you to pass, right? I was unfazed. I was not bothered. But by then, I had already gone through so much things in my life that what did I have to fear some questions on paper for? I didn't have to fear none of that. I had been near death as a child, almost died as a kid, right? And I was robbed at gunpoint. I've had all types of things happen to me in my life, right? That have all been good for me because there's no bad without good. That absolutely just made me like, what do I have to fear? Right? Now, fear doesn't mean to go looking for trouble, like Mufasa says in The Lion King. And fear doesn't mean you step out, not having fear doesn't mean you step out in traffic. That's just being stupid. All right. What did we say about that earlier on in the video? If you're dumb, you're just not going to win. This is that simple. Unless you're like a trust fund kid and your parents have a lot of money and you're going to have money forever and you would have to try to go broke, you could be dumb and be fine, successful. But if you're actually stupid, you're not going to make it. And I assume you watching this, you're not stupid. So, yeah. Fail forward faster. Crush the fear. Just do it, man. Like Nike said, just do it. Because honestly, the more you conquer fear is the easier it gets. The easier it gets. The first times I hopped on stage, I was afraid as hell. Even now when I have to speak publicly, you still get the butterflies. You still get a little nervous, a little anxious. But you go up there and you do it. And now I'm at a point where I'm more comfortable speaking to crowds of people than I am to speaking to people one-on-one. I'd rather speak to a crowd. That's how much crowd work and speaking to audiences I've done, that I would rather do that than have one-on-one conversations. Crazy, right? But that's what happens when you conquer fear. Next. Extend your time horizons. What does this mean? If you look at life as a marathon, you will change the way you approach your decisions. Okay? So you might make a decision today, not thinking about yourself 10 years from now. Right? Let's say you're with a chick and you're not thinking. You're just like, I'm gonna impregnate her. Bang. Done. You weren't thinking about yourself 10 years from now and the effect that one decision is gonna have. You need to extend your time horizons. The wealthiest people I know, all right, most of them are like over the age of 40 and they took time to get rich. And they have very long time horizons. They're looking 20 years ahead. You're trying to figure out what's happening tomorrow. They're looking 20, 30 years ahead. What's the world going to be? What decisions do I need to make now? where my future self will say, thanks for doing that. The most successful people think far into the future. They can have abstract thought. If you aren't an idiot, you can also carry out abstract thought. And start asking yourself what your life is going to be 10 or 20 years from now. I'm over here on YouTube right now. During the recording of this video, I have about 500 something subscribers, right? But if I do this for 10 years, I get real good, right? I get real good. How many subscribers am I going to have? What sort of community am I going to build? What sort of audience am I going to have? I'm not looking at this today and tomorrow. I'm looking at this years from now. Because I have long time horizons. And I always did have long time horizons because, like I said before, when I was a kid, I almost died. It changes the way you look at life. Okay. Now, with that being said, people use the time horizons concept and use it to be lazy. Once again, no good without bad. So they go, yeah, I have time. And then they be lazy and then they don't do stuff. All right. So I like to practice something called urgent patience. I attack every single day. All right. I go after what I want every single day. And I still know it'll take time. I still know it's going to take time. That's what it is. So extend your time horizons. If you want to copy one quality of the rich and successful, copy that one. And here's the thing with money, because this video isn't so much about business, but more so the mentality of fixing your life and the things that you need to do, mentally, and some actions that you need to take to start getting your life in check. It's not so much about business, but when you start getting money, it allows you the opportunity to think, right? So a lot of my money is separated from my time. So I actually have time to think. I have time to sit down and say, what do I want out of life? What do I want life to be 20 years from now? When I'm 50 years old, what does my life look like? That's why you got to get money. That's one of the major reasons. You need thinking time. Some of the greatest minds and the greatest entrepreneurs and greatest thinkers and inventors, they all had thinking time. They had time to sit down and evaluate their thoughts and think about the world, because people are constantly trying to project ideas into your mind and you don't know if they're yours. You don't know if they're theirs. You don't know why you think the things you think. So you need some time to actually think for yourself. Money allows you to do that. Time horizons allow you to do that. We're almost done. Speaking about time, utilize your spare time appropriately. So, especially if you're at the bottom and you don't have nothing going on, okay, your life is really mash up. You don't have no spare time to just be on the couch doing nothing. You need to have a podcast or something in your ears while you're washing the dishes or while you're at the gym. Some people don't like to listen to things at the gym because it's a mental thing. Some people like to just be there alone and really go after it. Me, I'm listening to something. I'm double timing things because I want to put new information in my mind. You need to utilize spare time. If you're driving, right? Have an audiobook playing, have a podcast playing. Me, when I used to take the bus and the train, I always had a book. Always had a book I was reading. One, it made the trip feel shorter. And two, I got to put knowledge into my mind, knowledge that I could act on later. Okay, so when I was on the train, I always had a book. Always. Because imagine 2 hours a day, I'm just sitting there. Broke, mind you. Broke, sitting there. Oh, yeah, that's a really nice dark tunnel. Oh, we're outside now. Look at the bridge. Oh, back to dark tunnel. Oh, look, there's people here and they don't give a shit about me, right? Don't waste your time, okay? Now, you might make the excuse to say, oh, that's my thinking time. Maybe it is, but it's not all your thinking time. All right. You're washing the dishes, listen to something. Okay. You're doing other things, laundry, whatever. Listen to something. Utilize your spare time. Okay. Because you need to, especially if your life is in turmoil and you need to fix up. You need to do that. All right. This is the last one I wrote down. I don't know how long this video is, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Expedite your process. One of the most important things I did was to spend money to expedite my process within life. So if I needed to learn something, I would pay someone who's already doing it to teach me. If I needed to get fit, right, I paid a trainer. When I went to go box, I paid coaches. When I wanted to learn how to make money, I paid coaches as well. I have paid, I don't even know how much I paid at this point. Tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds, on learning things and getting into communities that allow me to learn even more. Because that's what you have to do. I can trade money to expedite my process because I only have so much time in life, but money is infinite. Money is everywhere. They print more of it every day. Money is a giant finesse. Once you learn how money works, you will realize it too. It's all a finesse. It's not even real. Okay. But you need it in this world to have freedom, to have independence, right? And me, I'll trade the money to put knowledge in my head that I can take action on, to get guidance, to get teachers. Because even the greatest ball players and the greatest entrepreneurs, they have teachers, they have coaches, they have books they read. They don't know it all. Okay? So if you're broke, right, and you want to, consider the most important thing to spend your money on, or the most important thing to invest in, it is yourself. Spend money to build your skills. Spend money to build your character. Can you speak to people? Can you even talk to people? Maybe you need to hire a coach that can teach you how to speak. Do you know how to dress? Maybe you need to hire a coach for that. Maybe you need to hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Maybe you need to spend some time on YouTube and learn. Okay? I used to, because I was broke, okay, and when you're broke, you need to trade time for a lot of things, okay? So I learned a lot through my time on YouTube, through reading, through just working really hard and diligently on things. And then you get money and you realize you can cut like 80% of that process down by just paying for it. And it's like, oh, wow, I just shaved 2 years off of how long this was going to take me to do. So invest in yourself. You are literally the best asset in your life. You're like, oh no, it's real estate and it's stocks. It's going to make me more money. You need to invest in yourself. Okay? Because you need the money to be able to invest in those other things. And you're not going to get the money if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't become a different person who can fix their life. So that's it for today's video. Let me know if you like this format. It's kind of long. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Keep striving, keep progressing. Subscribe to my newsletter. Download the 6-Figure Blueprint if you don't have it yet. And I'll see you next time. Peace.